welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to sunny California for Dota Summit 9. We are, well, VGJ, just like we took over North America, have taken over the couch for this particular cast, this hype series between OpTic and EG. I'm Jack. With me, we have...
Dude, what are you doing?
You're on mic. You're just talking over him, dog.
What are you doing, dude?
What do you want?
I want to sit here. Like,
yeah, there's a condom wrapper. Like, I don't know what you want.
As you can see, we're a highly organized team, always on the same page and always serious. So to my left, we have MSS, SVG, Snaking, and behind us, the man himself, Syed Yawar Hassan. Can you hear us, Yawar?
no? Oh, I can hear you, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, so our series is going to be OpTic versus EG. Obviously, some implications here. We have managed to make it to the winner bracket final, and if EG managed to win one more game, I believe, of the remaining games, they will also make it to the winner bracket final. We'll have a chance to hopefully take some revenge against them, but it is going to be up to OpTic here. If they manage to take a 2-0 in the series,
it's not remaining game,
they have a chance to force a tiebreaker. What?
No. It's not a remaining game, right?
So they
have to win one game versus OpTic. It's specifically OpTic.
Or Fnatic. They have to win one of their remaining games.
No, they have to be. We didn't win from OpTic because that would give OpTic a loss and then a win for them, push them over.
Actually, yeah.
So they have to win from OpTic if it's one win.
No.
You come sit here.
What the hell do you want, bro?
To be clear, they don't have to beat OpTic. They just have to win one of their remaining games. Because if they beat Fnatic, OpTic has...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You have a point.
It's just like in the VGJ basement, we often disagree about the simplest things. So
clearly, everyone on this team is confused except for me, which is the normal situation, I would say. Jack is the most confused, per usual.
Yeah. So let's talk about this OpTic EG series. Obviously, you guys are very familiar with a lot of the players. Obviously, this is one of the bigger rivalries people are looking forward to. Let's break it down for me.
All right, on one side, you have the myth, the legend, Green Wall. If you're gonna try and defeat the Green Wall, you gotta have a plan. You gotta tunnel under it. You gotta go around it. You gotta build a wall your own. You gotta do something. On the other side, we have the boys in blue, bleeding blue, all over the green wall, turning it blue, potentially. We'll see who paint sticks harder.
All right, Mojo.
What's up?
You can leave.
Yawar did say before that he was coming on specifically to flame Mojo. But Yawar, predictions for this series?
I don't want to sit here, bro.
All right, here's the real analysis,
I
Jack.
can't even hear you.
So on the side of EG, I would say EG's playstyle, characteristically, they go for very dominant laning phase. They like to pick very abusive matchups. They want to come in this game and at 10 minutes have a 10K gold lead, and you're looking at this game like, this game's already over, go next. This is what I would characterize EG's style right now. If that doesn't happen, they're still a strong team in the mid game, late game, but generally I would say that's the weaker part of the game for them. On the other side, OpTic, I think, style-wise, this team wants to neutralize the laning phase that EG is going to put out and get into that mid and late game where they're going to scale harder and ideally take fights where their players synergize a bit more. So we'll see who prevails.
Let's break down let's look at the positions. In the mid we have.
I need to sit there like.
I thought you were doing it with your wire.
Yes. Well, we can ask Snay, who's been on the couch before, to if he would kindly like to switch with Yawar.
All right, Yawar, we can switch, bro.
Let's give Yawar some couch time.
Yeah.
All right. So while we do that, Mojo, some more thoughts on OpTic, as SVG has so kindly broken down the boys in blue.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm not looking at the actual teams themselves, all right? I'm not looking at their players. I'm not looking at their play styles. I'm looking at one specific member of their teams. I'm looking at their coaches, bro. On one side, you got the Korean genius mastermind, Dubu. And on the other side, you have the inventor himself, Bomba.
The other Korean mastermind,
the other
genius, Sam Sosali. Now,
those two actually have similar,
and they've played together.
Yes, they played together. They also think similarly.
You played with them too, right?
You have played with both of them in 1 year, in fact. It sounds like both of them, really persuaded you to,
they persuaded. I want to say they persuaded me. I willingly chose to play on those teams,
So tell us more. Tell us more. But you said that these two, you just hyped them up. You said this would be the matchup to watch out for. What's different about the Dota minds of Mr. Boba and Mr. Dubu?
No, that's the wrong question. Like, why did you leave them or you got kicked?
That's a bold
Yeah,
segue.
Mojo, what happened, Mojo?
Okay,
Would you like to
I mean, I
tell
can
the
talk
viewers?
about it if you want. You know, first of all, DC,
Yo,
straight up.
Nobody wants to hear about Mojo being kicked. If we go down the road of Mojo being kicked, we'll be here all night. There's like 100 stories this guy being removed from teams. Like, no, like this is gonna be too much history.
I can't deny that one, boys.
We're gonna be here all like we got games to play.
All right.
Right. This ain't an anthology series.
Were you kicked from EG as well?
I mean, that team just imploded.
Team imploded. Okay, all right.
So did DC.
But answer Yawer's question. He asked
What
a
did he
very
say?
good question earlier.
I don't even know what he said.
Did you choose to stop playing with these illustrious coaches that you mentioned, or, did they choose to stop playing with you?
I mean, DC imploded, so we just went our separate ways. And Immortals, I don't even remember what happened.
I think I know what happened.
Oh, yeah, I remember what happened. All right. I don't even know if I technically got kicked or not.
Seems like a lot of teams you've been on have just imploded.
Yeah,
as you say.
a lot of
Out
implosions
of nowhere,
happening,
just spontaneously
I mean,
imploded.
it just doesn't work out. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I mean, I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Yo,
this team
what's
imploded
the
after the like,
After this couch session, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That just
I'm
happens.
sensing a spontaneous implosion on the horizon.
Roman's safe. We're saving him. He's RU cast only, so Roman is safe from us for the time being.
We've got one player in the lobby. It's your try-hard boy, Arteezy.
Makes sense. He's always the
No
first,
second.
earliest to the house. The one pub in the most. Of course, he's the first one to join the lobby. So I think we might have some stats up or a look at this year's matches between these two teams, because it's obviously been a pretty hype rivalry ever since Peter came back to go to OpTic, and we almost saw them play in the NA qualifiers as well in a do or die situation. That ended up not being the case. So we've been pretty hype, but they will get to square off here again at the summit.
OpTic.
Looks pretty OpTic favorite as of late.
I mean, yeah. OpTic usually has the upper hand.
I mean, the more notable ones were the Super Major and the TI, even though there's only 3 games, right?
Yeah, we're going
I
back a
mean,
few months, but yeah.
Most of these matches were not with the current EG roster, though, so they're not really that telling, I would say. I do think OpTic's playstyle in general is pretty well. It's well paced against EGs,
Yeah.
assuming they make it out of lanes.
Bro.
This is the biggest question to me. Will they make it out of the lanes? Because, we played them. We ran some of our best strategies like
That's
You already know.
Techie's Wraith King,
I mean, that was a good one.
Willow, and we did not make it out of the lanes, to put it bluntly.
No, he did not.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't make
whose
it
fault
out
is
of
that,
the
SGG? I would like to talk about
specifically remember a
the
moment
Bounty
where
Rune
we,
engagement. What happened there?
We did suicide.
I mean, we've already talked about this earlier.
So
The people already know what happened.
Techies into it. Next.
Proper measures were not taken. They've been corrected. And next time we play that game, it might look different. But right now we're talking about OpTic and EG here,
True.
not VGJ.
Well, what do you think of the pudge? Who's gonna take the pudge first, or will we be banned? Because both of these teams, they play a lot of pudges, including ourselves.
I think EG's pudge is definitely more feared than the OpTic pudge at the moment. I think Crit has played this hero a couple times and looked pretty dominant on it. Zai's played the hero and they've won with it, but it hasn't looked as terrifying. I do think Zai's pudge is very good. I'm not hating on him at all. It's more just how the team plays around it, right?
Yeah.
EG's very good at enabling their supports in the laning phase, especially these weird supports like Pudges, Phoenix, Willows. They're very good at combining these heroes in the lane with spells, making sure they have an impact and getting the early levels. So these heroes are quite strong for them. Your boy Fly, he still has a picture of Phoenix as his profile picture. This guy lives and dies by the bird.
His featured heroes are Phoenix, and Phoenix.
Just like Jack, he lives and dies by the bird.
By the bird.
I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, he seems to pick that like every patch, no matter what. We do have someone who we've borrowed from the RU stream, Mr. Fomanok himself, come to share his wisdom on the EN one as well. So, Mr. Fomanok, what do you think of this matchup between OpTic and EG?
Do I speak here?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be an interesting series of NA DOTA
Oh, you-
going at its best.
You don't like NA Dota or what?
I'm loving NA DOTA.
I mean,
Nope.
that's why he's here. This man's here
Yo,
forever.
let me
More and
all right, let
more.
me educate you guys on some NA Dota right now. All right, here, well, a little lesson in school. All right, people flame NA Dota a lot. It takes a lot of flack, but at the end of the day, when you see two NA teams playing each other, you're gonna tell me you're not hyped. Because you know some spells are being missed.
Yeah.
Some throws are being made. That graph's going to be up. It's going to be down. And it's going to be up and down another 10 times.
I did not say that, by the way. I hope
And you
all
don't know who's
that.
going to win. This is the most exciting Dota in the world.
That's true. I can't
I
really
would
argue
agree.
with
You
that.
It is not
contribute
the
to the
highest
up and down as well,
quality.
SVG.
To me,
Yeah, you contribute the up and down as well, you know?
I play Dota for the ups and the downs. I relish in the downs.
Let's talk about this mid matchup.
I've had a lot of downs, you know.
I know Yawar's. I want to ask Yawar's thoughts on this mid matchup here because we have the king himself. This is the king, but we have the other king himself going up against our
Rank
boy
one.
Quinn Callahan
Rank
in mid.
one.
For the rank 1, the king of NA. So what's going to happen in this mid matchup, Yawar?
No, Tripsy is gonna get destroyed by the king.
Voted on that one.
I don't even. Who is even the king at the? Are you referring to CC and C because he's rank 1, or the king
Well,
because
no,
he's
no.
the king?
Because
He's
King
the
is
king.
back, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
He's
At
the king.
this
There's
point,
only
there's
one
like
king.
10 kings.
The self-proclaimed
There's
king.
only one.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's your brother, so you gotta vote for him.
Yo, Shannon, come down there. Come
That's
down.
like a given, right? Yeah.
We're still waiting for both. Actually, both teams are here. So if you guys want to talk a little bit about how things have changed for, let's say, first pick, second pick, Radiant Dire, because we saw Radiant with a pretty big advantage for a long time. Not to give away all your secrets, a lot of teams still seem to prefer Radiant. And how has that changed? You know, even over the last few months or over the course
I mean,
of this
that's
tournament?
obvious. Who can take the takes first has an advantage, bro.
You can't let the other team have Pudge techies first, right?
Definitely not. I mean, Pudge. Have you ever seen Pudge techies lose a game on a big stage?
TI 6
TI6.
wins,
Never.
right?
No.
Never is the correct answer.
Never.
So why not pick it here?
It was the worst defeat that Wings has ever suffered. So
Yeah, but at that time, when you hook someone in the mines, they instantly exploded.
That's true.
Now, if you hook them in the mines, they have a chance to get 25 gold and run away. The strat has improved.
not make them more likely to lose.
Yeah, the strat has improved.
They're tanking that rot damage when they're killing the mine.
Exactly. They have to make a choice.
All right, we should have a draft coming up shortly here between EG and OpTic. And here we are.
I
Going
predict
into
Enchantress to be banned and Phoenix to be picked, unless it's banned.
Let's hype it up, boys. We're about to
There's
start
the
a game.
You already know.
Enchantress
First
ban.
ban Enchantress.
This hero is too obnoxious at the moment.
Who?
Who do you lane against this hero? Tell me, Jack. You played a lot of pubs recently?
Who do I lane against this year? I mean, I'd go mid-Chen right away, but I don't know about
Mid-Chen?
you guys. But,
I mean, you know what Jack's last name is? Come on.
What is
She
a
has to.
mid-Chen?
no, let me break it down.
This
for
guy's
you.
not even going mid, Jack.
Let me break it down for you. Enchantress has really low HP. So when you hit her with that Penitence and Test of Faith and Dagon, she's done.
Oh, you get the Dagon. Right.
She's done.
All right, great strat.
Maybe I should draft
But
for us
who are
instead.
you laning against the Enchantress? You know, you can have your mid-Chen. Great. But who are you laning against the Enchantress?
I mean, look, you just have to take the Chen and follow her around because one of her advantages against Chen all this time is she can steal the creep. But if you don't skill taking the creeps in the first place, she does nothing against you. She's just done.
All right,
you
folks,
talking
this
about?
is why Jack has 1,100 party MMR.
Sure.
I think we've all just witnessed it. I have no faith in that strat. The Pugna and Necro are also banned.
So they're thinking about leaving Pudge on the table here for first pick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Pudge and there's a Willow.
And the Phoenix.
And the Phoenix.
EG will...
But the Phoenix is not going to be banned.
Phoenix and Wyvern, I think, are two heroes EG will take one of in the first two if they're left in the pool. They're very stable 5s right now. They offer lane shove. They offer team fight. They offer decent laning.
So Pudge is still in the pool. Is Pudge going to be first picked here? What do you think?
I mean, if it does get first pick, then
I
I'm
don't think
sure
they're gonna
EG
first pick
will
Pudge.
spawn with the Phoenix +1.
Is it a Pudge? It is
You already
indeed a
know.
Pudge.
They're gonna lose.
They're going to lose?
Last time I saw Zion play, he was like 1-20.
That doesn't mean you're going to lose.
They lost.
I was like 0-15 on techies, and we almost won that game.
I mean, I was 1 in 15.
We were like one team
I
fight
was
away
1
from
in
winning
15
that
on
game.
As they
Then we
say,
won that game.
almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
True.
But
Roll out
Secret
of
Phoenix,
horseshoes.
boys.
So you talked about this before, kind of
Yeah,
against the
classic.
Pudge, you want to make it so that he feels useless and has to hit miracle hooks, right? Like he doesn't have lane presence, he has no setup, and then
Yep.
he feels kind of underwhelming as a hero.
If this hero has a rough early game, he becomes a lump of fat, literally. Pudge.
He can still tank some spells and shit, right?
Yeah, but ideally you want to reach a point where this hero's tankiness outpaces the enemy's damage in a fight, or what they're willing to commit. And that's when this hero becomes quite strong, when he can go beyond that threshold. So Bloodseeker is also a hero that can take advantage of it in a way, because the Pudge innately wants to tank a lot of damage in lanes and in fights. He has a spell that literally deals damage to himself, and without sustain, this gives Bloodseeker a lot of damage on the lane. He's quite a strong laner. This is a hero that fits EG's playstyle.
He also removes the Pudge's ability to save people with Hook. Because if they're
I
ruptured,
know
they just
that
kill themselves.
Series 3 is a big fan of Dark Willow. We've been playing a lot in pubs.
Yep.
Might be a flame Dark Willow.
This could be a core Willow. Willow
Pierre
Pudge.
also played it, so it's like position 5/position 3.
Willow Pudge is also a strong dual lane because you have a root and a stun that you can pretty much guarantee a hook off of.
Think OpTic's gonna ban PL? What do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Looking specifically at Mojo.
What?
Yeah, we're just asking you.
We're probably going to see Peel and Brood banned in some of the next 4 picks. These heroes tend to be heroes that they're just obnoxious to deal with when they come out in the second phase if your first 2 aren't set up for it.
So this Bloodseeker guy, I guess, being picked early, again, it can go in multiple lanes, right? So it doesn't necessarily give that away. Is that an advantage to picking that early? Or why haven't we seen this hero maybe as much recently? It feels like he was really popular for a while, maybe around Super Major, and then kind of dropped off a little bit.
I think he was only popular with very specific teams and regions, right? Bloodseeker was played a lot in TI qualifiers in North America, and it was played a little bit in China. That was kind of the extent of it. I didn't see Bloodseeker played at all in SEA, and it was played pretty minimally in Europe, kind of a niche pick. So as to why this hero was so strong in NA as opposed to other regions, I don't know. Probably because NA DOTA is just garbage. It's like a lot of people take really dumb damage.
Yeah.
People get a lot of buffs, like bad
I
trades.
I think it's more about the game's ends in about 10 minutes in NA. The game, people either give up by the 10-minute mark or you're already throning them. So Bloodseeker tends to be a pretty good hero when all you have to do is just win your lane.
Yeah. A lot of NA on NA games are very driven by who wins the lanes. A lot of times in the qualifiers and everything, it comes down to, are you the stronger team in the laning phase? And if you are, you have a very good chance to just win the game after that. So Bloodseeker, this hero has if he has a good laning phase, you have a really good laning phase. But this hero can have a really bad laning phase. If he is in a position where he's outnumbered on the lane, or he's against a really bad lane counter, then this hero just becomes the ultimate liability.
Mr. Fomanak, we already see the Ursa ban. What cores do you like against Bloodseeker?
Against Bloodseeker? It's a tough question because he's really strong in lane. And it usually does not come from I mean, it depends. Like, some morphing might be fine against him, but it's all player dependent, or skill dependent, I'd say. If you just last hit few more creeps or something's happening on our lanes and you're getting fast, it might get snowball out of control. But usually heroes are good that can constantly hit him in the face.
So we see the Chen picked up by EG.
Or have a threat of killing him, like Bat Rider, for example.
But you wouldn't be the Bat Rider player.
I wouldn't be.
Might be.
There's not a lot of my heroes that can deal with Bloodseeker.
So we see the Chen picked up by EG, probably going to be run by Sumail this game. What are we looking for them to round out their lineup with?
I mean, once you're level 8 with the max penance test of faith, you have the
Dagon
Dagon
as well.
I don't see anybody surviving it. What I am interested in is what happens if OpTic takes Brood on the 4th pick.
I mean, dude, Brood's looking juicy for both teams right now.
This Brood got left through.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they should set up a pick from EG right now. Pick a hero that can deal with Brood Mother.
Yeah, EG either takes the Brood
Honestly,
or
if
they
I were
need to
them,
prepare for
I
it.
would take that Brood right now.
You would take it as EG?
Yeah, I think so.
No, you cannot take it.
Why not?
Because they're gonna pick Tiny +1.
Tiny.
I think OpTic's not gonna pick Brood.
Wraith.
Alright, they're done.
I think the Brood
Pick
is
the Brood
coming.
Mother.
Brood is coming.
Finish it.
Brood is extremely good against Chen. This hero does literally nothing to Brood. The Phoenix does nothing to Spiderlings. Bloodseeker cannot lane against the Brood. Wraith King cannot lane against the Brood. It means EG has 1 pick to lane against this guy, and if they dodge lanes or something, It just makes the early game very chaotic.
So
which
who's
is
gonna
what you
play
wanna
Dark
do.
Ruler if they pick
The
Brew?
problem is
I'm
33
sure
and PBDs and Zai are the people who plays Willow, but Zai's the only one who plays Pudges, so who would play these?
Yo, I'm sure Pycat can play
Pretty
like.
weird.
I mean,
I'm
this
sure
is
Pycat can play Pudge.
This is
and-
Pycat Pudge right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, if he's playing
Pycat.
Pudge,
Zai's
then
playing
Pudge.
Willow.
One position Pudge, all right.
Oh no, he wasn't play offlane or something.
There's some
Sometimes
conflicts
you
of
got.
rules for OpTic right now.
Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices.
I think
to
in
make the
most
Brood
situations, though, when OpTic does face these conflicts, they will just have Pycat play some Axe or Night Stalker or Omni Knight or whatever. Now, I do agree in this situation it's a bit of a harder of a stretch, but you never know. They value the Brood that much.
I think they want to pick Brew, but they cannot pick it. Like
I mean, they're probably, yo,
they're
Pycat.
gonna lose both side lanes,
Yo,
right?
Pycat, how's your Witch Doctor, bro?
Yo, Mojo.
Yeah.
What do you think about Dubo as a coach, bro?
Are you serious right now? Everyone's just asking me. Everyone's
Well,
trying to
you brought it up
fiend,
yourself
dude.
earlier, but you declined to go into further details. Mr. Foamrock is curious.
I mean, I don't know how he is the coach. I mean, as a player, as a captain. I
One
mean,
point
he's very.
I would like to ask.
Yo,
how,
be
how
honest,
do you
bro.
feel
Be
Dubo
honest.
is- or not Dubo, Febby as a player, my friend.
What is going on right now, dude?
You
Let's
guys
keep
are
it.
some cancers.
Yeah, let's keep it with Dubu, guys. All right. Dubu's a very.
Yo, Mojo.
What's up, bro?
Yo, Mojo. What do you
What's up,
think?
dog?
What do you think of Snaking as a player?
I mean, he's fucking
This
straight
guy-
garbage, dude.
all right. I'm glad we're.
Well,
you
what
know.
about snaking as a person?
Oh, and look
he's-
now
oh,
who's
he's
being
deep in
cancerous
thought.
towards
I
the
got,
team.
I got to
Thinking
find
carefully,
something good to say, boys. It's pretty hard.
That's a personal question. I don't know if I want to.
Mojo, you better watch those words. I sense
I
another
mean, people
implosion
need
coming
some
along.
insights, bro.
The implosion's happening, boys.
Got a lot of fans who are curious, Mojo. Come on, you're dodging the question here.
So there's a morphling,
It's
something.
not a testimony, right? But still, like, you gotta give some insights, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So there's a morph, something that we've
Question
seen
dodged.
Rezo play this hero a bit. You know, where are we going with the last two picks of this draft? How are we going to finish this one off?
OpTic needs what I would say is a tempo controller. They need a hero that can probably play off low cooldowns and make some space for Morph.
You know why they
come
banned Tia?
online. Maybe take some objectives.
I think EG wants to pick Brew.
I mean,
And they
I
have the
don't
last
think EG is going to get a last pick Brood.
Yeah, they have to ban.
I'd hope not, but they might. This is a
This
team
is a-
people
Unless,
forget.
unless like OpTic last picks a Tiny or something.
And
they don't care.
OpTic's gonna last pick Lena.
OpTic might still pick the Brood. I could see a
Ah.
CC and C Pudge coming out.
Yeah.
There's no way. I feel like Lena is more appropriate.
They want Lena for the egg.
Yeah,
and she
I
can
mean, they already have
Saying
Morph.
there's
They
a
already
lot
have
of burst
Morph
and
to
stun,
kill
right?
egg, though.
In that case, they should ban the Brood Mother right now. Otherwise, they're gonna face some serious problems.
Yeah, they have to ban Brew.
I don't know, Witch Doctor can get in there and cask some Spiderlings, heal some people up.
Yeah, you guys, there's 2 spiders out of 20.
I gave up.
Yeah.
The Brood is banned, boys.
Is that must put a lot of pressure as a drafter or captain, right? You're always worried about this random cheese coming out, the Broods, the Huskars, and the Meepos.
You know the way to not get cheese, Jack? You just cheese them
Yeah,
first.
you pick the cheese.
You know?
So
Cheese on cheese action,
is that why we've seen the first phase Broods? Just get them first, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's why we pick techies, Jack. Come on.
You have to start the mind games early on the draft, You first pick that techies, they're already monk-essing, alright?
That's true. The mind games led to some losses for us, though. So
That's true. But that was because Avery
Van
was on
Brood
those
teaches
techies,
you.
bro. Come on.
Let's go.
There's a Zeus coming out, rounding out the draft for OpTic. So how do we see the lanes shaking out here?
This is
We
the
know that
classic Bloodseeker Phoenix off lane, I think. They did this exact same matchup versus us when we picked Pudge on EG. So they're just waiting to pick a mid for Sumail. Probably like, I think Sumail likes Shadow Fiend in this matchup. We'll see.
We'll definitely see.
I could even see something like a Storm Spirit coming out. Could be pretty gnarly.
I think they want a hero who can deal with Morphling. So
Morph. Not a lot of mids deal with Morph, though.
Flipping thing.
Tiny could be interesting.
So what are your ideal lane setups for if you're OpTic or if you're EG? What are you trying to force as OpTic? What are you trying to see, or what are you trying to make sure happens as far as lane matchups go?
Invoker, yeah.
Alright, it's over. Alright, guys, I'm gonna have to leave you because there's no space for 6 people on the couch. So enjoy your time. See you.
There ain't even
Alright,
space
see
for
you.
5. That didn't stop snaking. All right, goodbye, Roman. You'll be able to catch Roman later on the Russian cast here at the Summit 9.
This is probably Quaswex Invoker. This is how most people play it these days. Rush the Vessel. Play very fast with Tornado, EMP. Punish this Zeus's mana pool.
No, I don't. Like, Sumail's
I'm
not
not
gonna
sure.
play Crossfax.
You don't think you will?
I feel like he might go Exort and play
think
off
you
the
should
Wraith
play
King
EQ.
stun. Like if
Could.
they Wraith Kick stun anyone and they just like
We shall see
Ten
what he
minutes.
does.
Sunstrike that's a lot of damage.
But whose draft do you favor right now?
Let's have some predictions here.
Mr. Hassan.
EG.
Shocker.
Mr. Stormstout.
I feel like EG.
Mr. Snaking.
I definitely think EG's lineup is superior.
Got a bunch of
I don't even
EG
want to ask
fanboys
Jack's
here.
opinion because he's still on this mid-chen.
I mean,
I'm going to go with my boys OpTic here. I think this Zypudge is going to do some work.
Here's the problem.
All right, I changed my mind. That's an Exort Invoker. Never mind, boys.
CC Invoker.
Yo, I feel like this Invoker's gonna pop off.
He might. But I have questions about this Chen. This is not a hero that is picked nearly as much as he was when he was super broken in first pick.
Yeah, my question mark is the bottom lane. I have no idea how it's gonna go
Chen
down.
Wraith King.
Does not seem that strong against the Dark Willow Pudge.
Touch. I think it's strong. It's
Wraith King
pretty
is a
good.
fairly strong laner. The penitence into stun with Sunstrike threat
They have Sunstrike, yeah.
Yeah.
seems pretty high.
The thing is, Wave King is a counter to Willow and Pudge in lane, right? Because all your spells are dependent on targets, and Wave King can summon targets on demand.
That's true.
Yeah, but he doesn't like start out with the skeleton army. You know, he needs to go raise the militia, go to separate towns, talk people into joining it, kill some creeps.
True. He's got to pull that Paul
That's a
Revere
pen
first.
level
too.
1.
I think he's dead.
Yeah,
This
of
guy's
course.
He's
just
actually
dead.
just dead. Boy's done.
They should try to kill the Sumail.
All right,
Sunstrike?
that's definitely not Mojo.
Yeah, stun
Pudge.
Sunstrike.
Yeah, they need to
Dog.
Sunstrike this kid.
Yo, if he gets a Sunstrike,
He's gonna
it's
wait.
done.
He's gonna wait. Yeah,
Oh,
Alright.
Oh, man.
That was embarrassing.
little off
that was
target.
straight up embarrassing.
I don't know if it was that. I mean, you're not gonna hit every Sunstrike. It's not embarrassing. This kid's played thousands of games with Invoker. You're gonna miss every Sunstrike every now and then.
That's true.
That's just life.
I feel like he
Yeah,
just
Invoker.
secured that kill, man.
Very
know.
forgiving of his former players and teammates is Mr. Silverman. He picked against him here, though.
Alright, what do you think about this top lane, though? Morph, Witch Doctor versus Bloodseeker, Phoenix. I feel like you can go both ways, to be honest. It just
It depends on the other lanes, right?
I don't
Yeah.
think OpTic will lose this lane, but they might not do as well as they think they're gonna do. That's how I feel.
I think yeah.
Because they're just gonna heal this Morph and like he's gonna farm, but
Yeah, but the Bloodseeker. Actually, I guess Morph is one of those heroes that can like out CS the Bloodseeker.
yeah, he can.
So,
But you never know. You know, Bloodseeker. You know, if mid and bottom become a shit show, this Bloodseeker just might kill this Witch Doctor at one point. You know, he gets like 40 damage, 500 MS.
So-
you never know.
let's predict the lanes a little bit more. Where are we looking
Guy
for?
got hooked, bro. The Zypudge. You can't sleep on this. Jack, you can't sleep on this.
Where are we?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
you
can't,
can't
on it.
sleep on this Pudge, Jack.
I'm pretty sure I can prove
Hey.
you wrong on that one. Where are we looking for the action to? Well, I guess it's everywhere. This being NA Dota, but where are we looking for the biggest imbalances, I should say, to happen in the lanes?
I mean, you know, it's gonna be the bottom lane and the mid lane.
No, mid lane is pretty like
'Cause I'm pretty sure
they're gonna
mid
trade
lane.
farm.
Alright. I guess, yeah.
There's one thing I know about Sumail. This kid does not trade farm.
Yeah, this guy's
Like,
gonna.
If this guy is in a position where he's trading farm,
he's losing.
he's diving you at some point because he's like, yo, this lane cannot go even, so I'm gonna kill you, and he's gonna dive you, and he's probably gonna kill you, and he might die as well. But this kid does not accept even farm. Right now, mid lane's
I think
even.
OpTic's gonna lose top lane too now.
Yeah.
Does PBD have a mangoes?
This
If
guy
he-
is
if he
out
doesn't
of
have mango,
mana,
it doesn't have
yeah.
mana to heal. It's pretty
Ooh,
bone. Alright,
this guy
top
does
lane
not
looks
have
rough.
a mango or a clarity. This top lane is gonna be slowly getting rougher and rougher.
That's just because there's two sustain heroes there and they can't keep it up without mana on Witch Doctor.
Yeah. I mean, things like Bloodseeker, you know, he wants them to be low, and Witch Doctor, he heals them up. But you know, if he doesn't have mana, he won't be able to heal them up.
Do you, if you're playing support in this game, do you expect any early rotations from either team to really try and like win one of the lanes or maybe get a kill, or does that not make that much of a difference here?
I don't think they can rotate. Maybe Chen getting some or
Oh,
something.
Chen cannot leave Wraith King bottom. This guy will get dumpstered in the 1v2. But if Chen's down there with him, it's good enough.
I mean, they're fine winning 2 lanes, right? You don't have to win 3 lanes.
I mean, basically, both sides are just farming on all 3 lanes. There hasn't been any huge shifts yet.
So we're just going to see basically a classic 2-on-2 played out.
Yeah, just pretty much every game.
The skeleton army
just
with the
died there.
pendants.
That's what I'm talking about. The skeletons, man.
Spooky, spooky skeletons.
I mean, this bottom lane is so hard actually for OpTic. They're so scared of this this Rafing Stun, plus this like the pure damage amp plus the Sunstrike. Like 70% of their HP is gonna be gone.
I actually think Phoenix should gang mail with like when Invoker cross.
I don't think so. I think the moment he leaves top, like isn't the morph like they're gonna bully him out.
I mean,
right?
it's just not how EG plays. EG
Yeah.
doesn't want to run their supports around. They want to sit on static lanes
Yeah.
that you're losing and make you continue to play these lanes that you're losing and feel bad doing it.
Oh,
So they are able to pick up the Phoenix kill there. So Arteezy with that 102 skill build. And I believe the Wraithfire Blast causes the skeletons to target. So does he deploy them first and then stun? Is that how you would make max use of the skeletons here in this lane?
Wait, is that actually a thing?
what?
Yeah.
I mean, the
If
Wraith
you-
King
if
player
you
on our
stun-
team's not here, so
Yeah, if you
I don't
stun
think anyone can answer
someone,
that.
the skeletons hit the target.
Wait,
you stun.
wait, are you guys the professional players?
I
think you
mean,
guys
I
need
knew
to-
that, boys.
I think
My
you guys need
support
to
rate
pub
is
a
ready.
little
I'm
Yo,
more
first
to
off,
figure this out.
I'm not
so-
even a Dota player
Alright,
already.
true, true.
Like, I'm just here for the week. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. But this lane is looking rough.
I think Zai needs to get out here and actually sway the top lane. I,
I mean,
don't
this
think he
is
can do
a-
anything bottom anymore.
It's a very left lane for Pudge because he's playing against 2 heroes with summons.
Oh.
So this hook has not a lot of value, and he can't really man up. That would have been a nice hook if it hit, though. Sunstrike misses. Cask is doing some work. Oh, look at it go, Jack.
Yeah, kind of unlucky bouncer. So this is the kind of situation that Pudge doesn't want to be in, right? He's got a whole army of things to hook into. There's no easy setup for him.
Yeah, it's rough.
We got a fiesta going
He's
on bottom.
almost dead to the golems.
This Pudge's TB bottom, he's limping back home. This is does not feel good.
I mean, the thing
I think he
is,
should suicide right now. Like he's getting damage too. Let's
Yeah,
see.
this is the thing. The whole time his Pudge is low, this Seeker is, he's having the time of his life.
What? Oh yeah, he
He's a-
denied himself.
He's in Vegas right now. He's putting it all on red. He's winning every time. He's a Bloodseeker.
As we see EG up 4-1 in the kills, but already a 3K gold lead 5 minutes into the game. So tough start
There's a
here for
classic
OpTic.
EG game right here, boys.
Yeah,
Shades of
this is,
EG VGJ at the start
Oh,
of
yeah.
this game here.
I mean, we got demolished in the lane. It happened.
That's his life.
Team has very good core players as far as their knowledge of how to abuse small things in the lanes, mechanics, matchups. Of course, everyone talks about Sumail being this amazing mid-mechanical player, but Arteezy and S4 are also extremely strong mechanical side laners. So you can't sleep on this team, Jay.
Can't sleep in general.
Yeah, don't fall asleep.
So Willow, we see being able to dodge some of the Arteezy stuns here, but it still feels like they can't really approach the lane. And at some point, this tower is just going to fall to skeletons and summons, right?
They're gonna try a push here. Double catapults.
I mean, I
2
don't know
more
how they.
shards.
I don't think they can stop this.
They have to land an extremely good hook into like a TP or something, but I
This
don't
tower
know.
is gonna.
No one can TP though. Maybe Zoo's ulti.
Yo, any sunstrikes?
If they're not caught
There
in
could be a
anything,
Sunstrike coming.
Yeah,
Is
where's the
Sumail gonna
sunstrike?
Sunstrike?
You dang communicating or what?
just leave him low.
Just leave him?
Oh,
Alright, he's dead,
baby.
boys.
The thirst giving vision. Sumail doesn't even have to try, you know what
Yo,
I'm
who's
saying?
Steaming bottom
These
Zeus.
skeletons are going bonkers right now.
There's the Zeus port.
You got double kill, huh?
Yeah, but the tower died.
Oh, he killed that swear too,
The
huh?
Bloodseeker was low top.
Alright, that's pretty high value then.
Oh, they have
Good
4K
rotation. It was
gold
on
lead.
Arcane Rune as well, so.
I mean, this is the other problem with OpTic's lineup, right? Like, OpTic will never take a tier 1 in this game until like 15 or 20 minutes. I just don't see it. Who's going to take a tower outside of this Morphin? So they're going to be playing with less map than EG. And they're going to be playing from a gold deficit. So they're going to have to get a lot out of these kill setups.
Oh, the Pudge rotation.
Another
though.
rotation coming in here
The
on
Pudge
S4.
rotation. S4 just TB back up here. I know this feeling a lot. He's going to feel pretty shitty now. And I think the Pudge just needs to sit top and Chen needs to rotate top in order to sway the lane.
I think the Pudge should have done this like way sooner. To be
Oh,
honest.
but he's rotating mid.
This is it. Oh, they're gonna get this tower with some skeletons and catapult.
I like the synergy of EG's lineup. I think you saw this a lot from Fly, where maybe in the past it was more late game or wombo combo synergy, but in this case, you guys already mentioned the Thirst with the Invoker, the Sunstrike with all the setup that there is on the side of EG. Just seems to work out real well for them. They can get kills like anywhere. It feels like they can be all over the map at once. This lead still at about 4K as we've reached our second daytime. So what does OpTic have to do to get back into this game? You mentioned that it's hard for them to take towers. They have to keep getting these big rotations and kills. Speaking of which, smoke coming over.
There's only one lane they can kill. It's this
Yeah,
top
top.
lane, and they can even up Zeus ulti. So they just keep feeding off these Bloodseekers. Probably their best play.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You just need to have Zai land some hooks,
Oh,
That feels bad, man.
get some flesh heap stacks up, get this morph a little more gold in his pocket.
Dude, that's having a rough one, actually. His numbers so low.
Zai?
oh, the coconut.
Yeah, I mean, that's, his laning phase was rough.
And S4 was Blood Raged out as well, so he's going to take a lot of damage there and go down. So a couple quick deaths in succession here for S4. But, you know, with that rotation, again, mid tower is down, bottom tower is down. So a lot of space for EG. What's the Wraith King itemization in this game? So we see a lot of people just kind of go Radiance if he's farming well. We see Blink, Blade Mail. What are you thinking as RTZ this game?
Well, considering he has the Blade Mail queued up, I think he's gonna go Blade Mail.
Wow. That's pretty good versus Dark Willow.
That was
right?
some deep analysis,
Thank
Mojo.
you. Thank you. I just get these players.
Are you going to be on the TI panel? Any chance?
Possibly.
All right, I'll look.
Comes after the implosion, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I
First we
forgot.
implode.
First the
then we
implosion,
panel.
then he retires, then he becomes an analyst, then he implodes the analyst desk, and then it's game over, you know? This is the classic Peter Dagger, Max Cask, Witch Doctor build.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that
I've
one,
personally
bro?
never been a huge fan. I think Maledict's is Hero's strongest spell, but if you can make it work, you get those extra bounces in. It's pretty
That feels
triggering.
bad, man. That Pudge is just in the corner rotting himself to death.
I think Zai needs to be careful with that because Bloodseeker can see him. And
He
he
gets
gets
Sunstrike.
Sunstrike. Yeah. One of these days is gonna happen.
One of these days. The strength of Zeus pick is he can, in theory, slow the game down a bit. He can outspam these lanes. Chen doesn't really like playing against Zeus too much. You take an engagement, and he kills all your creeps, now pushes the tower, can slow the game down. But EG says
Oh,
there is no pace in this game that we want to play at except for ours.
Dude, I
We're
feel
gonna
like
run
Gary's
it.
about to get team
This,
wrecked.
this looks real grim
Yeah.
for OpTic.
The Zeus is gonna die too.
I mean, the Zeus is gonna feed
Yeah,
as well.
they're
the
way
TP.
outnumbered right now. Maybe. Oh, the egg. Yeah,
Or Tor
this is a rough one, boys.
saved that skill point for the reincarnate. And I want to point out his build is 204, so he's got max skeletons, and
I
they
mean,
hit
skeletons
so
messed up.
hard that they actually just get to bite into you.
Ooh, not like this.
I'm not sure about this PVD. Alright, I'll take those. Oh, you gotta get what you can
You
get.
got the Centaur, man.
Meanwhile, your boys to male, just farming away.
Wish I could do that.
These odds are already 5 to 1.
Oh, Peter.
This kind of reminds me of my team's Pudge sometimes as well. Mojo, you feel me?
I mean, that just happens, bro. Sometimes just your lane doesn't go well. You can't get kills. Your mid and top is losing their lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just. I get, sometimes I just get used to it. So
Are you saying I'm the reason? I'm the problem, kid?
Well, no,
I never said
he blamed
name,
mid
bro.
and top. Yawer was blaming his support.
Oh, this is a classic Dota team. Everybody blames everybody else, and then usually the 5 is just sitting there like, yo, I put some vision up. I casted my spells. I'm not blaming anybody. Life's good.
No, usually the 5 is the lightning rod.
this is the
'cause
classic.
You pick the heroes,
This
bro.
is the classic.
It's your
The 5
fault.
is playing the victim, right? I've seen and heard this shit way too many times.
He's playing
bro.
the victim when he picked the heroes that led to it happening in the
Seriously,
first place.
I
bro.
can't believe Captain Implosion over here is lecturing me about playing the victim right now. What's going on here?
This is classic EG. 11 minutes in, 7k gold lead, and it's not stopping.
Well, his, Chen stopping. It's a flesh heap stack.
That's 2
Well,
ultimates
that-
for.
More than what
Champ
Mojo
was-
had.
So this is the point in the game where EG can throw. So what happens is they take all these tier 1s, they're snowballing the game very hard. You're like, oh man, this game
Yeah.
looks over. But if EG feeds a couple of kills here and there, OpTic gets a couple of items on their cores, the game can start to look very different.
That's
Dude, that was
rough.
the crit on with the Sunstrike. Goddamn.
Smack skeleton build paid off.
This morph pick seems a bit rough in this game, right? It doesn't feel like he's going to get the land that he wants. He doesn't really get the space and time to farm, and then it just feels bad at this point in the game.
Problem with these heroes like Morph is like, if your other 2 lanes like lose, this hero needs a lot of space and a lot of farm and a lot of time. But if your heroes are behind, they just can't do that. Like they can't make the space for you. So it's just like an uphill battle for your entire team. His lane itself wasn't that great too.
So what would have you liked to have seen them pick?
When was the Morph pick? The Morph was last, right?
No,
Fourth.
Zeus was the last pick.
They saw what? Bloodseeker, Phoenix, Chen.
All right, we'll get back to you on that.
All
you
right,
know,
that's
about
cool.
20 minutes.
How are you just giving me
When
a draft
Mojo,
question
you know,
fucking 12 minutes
works
in?
out
dude?
that
Like, are
puzzle.
you serious right now?
Meanwhile, your boy Peter Dagger, he is getting some vision out.
That's why I asked Mr. Foamnock what core he wanted to pick, and then he didn't answer. And it happens a lot in our drafts. You know, clock's winding down. Nobody knows what they want to play.
That's true.
It just
And
feels
then
bad.
I'm just gonna pick you something.
I know
That's
what
how it
I want
works.
to pick every time. First
Yeah?
to me that techies, first to me that Ursa support. You pick
Yeah,
me anything.
What
I'll play.
happened with the Ursa support?
I mean, dude, I did my job.
Yeah, what
I was
happened?
running at people. I might have not pressed R at some times, but
Yeah,
I made
I
that
saw
space.
some of that.
I made that space, boys.
Yo, guys, there's no way I'm dying. I'm dead, boys. Dead.
I mean, how many Roshans did we get that game? Jack, do you know?
All of them.
But
Yeah.
how many,
Still lost.
how many Roshans
Yeah.
is EG getting in this game? The answer is
All of
one
them.
so far.
Yeah, OpTic can do
Right,
nothing
with the
but look on
game-
helplessly. And there's more of that synergy, right? You have
Penitence, Blood Rage, Roshan dies very
the
fast.
Life
huge
steal aura.
army to tank it as well.
True. You know,
Oh,
Roshan
just
hates
Invoker,
he
God.
hates skeletons. He
That's
told
true.
me this yesterday. This man hates skeletons. And it's a 10k gold lead at 14 minutes.
Invoker has Ags, 14 minutes in. Bounty rune to spawning, I believe. Gonna give away the bottom ones to OpTic.
So one thing that often comes up in our games, if you're EG right now, are you thinking, let's just go high, we have this Aegis, or are you thinking we should choke them out first, or try to, slowly constrict them first?
I mean, it just depends on when they're comfortable going high ground. Like if they think they have the items to go. I personally think they need to wait. They should probably farm
What
with the
the
Aegis,
hell?
choke them out. Wait for BKBs, because once they get BKBs, that's their like ultimate timing.
Did he just get sunstruck from
He
full?
literally
I mean,
just
probably.
Sunstrike because he got Blood Rage, so he did like 700 damage on the Sunstrike.
Oh, boy.
That's an interesting combo.
I see that a lot from Morphling sometimes. It's like, it feels like they're playing on lower health than they need to be. Or it's like, if they could be like on 800 and still farm pretty quickly, but they're on like 600.
Yeah, but the strength of this hero is that's where your farm rate comes in.
Yeah.
That's why he's an amazing agi carry, right? You can farm as fast as you want, as fast as you possibly can, and then sometimes you die as fast as you possibly can. But that's life. You have life on the edge, Jack. You gotta pay the consequences.
How would you feel if you were this Switch Doctor? Because I also think you get one shot from Sunstrike, man.
I mean, he's not too happy. I think the best way you play this hero is you're setting up kills with your team. You're high damage.
This is gonna be
support.
real bad for OpTic, boys.
Sunstrike missed though.
Well, they're all committing into this fight, and Victoria's not taking a lot of damage so far. More forced to disengage, leaving Peter behind for the Wolves. As we see 33 trying to disrupt the fight a little bit. And Pycat playing a hero that's probably more effective, far more effective than his own right now, going into the Wraith. OpTic will be forced to leave behind this tower, and they're wounded as well. So OpTic, I guess they tried to get a pick there. They thought maybe it was, kind of Artur wandering around, which we've seen from time to time, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
The team was right
they
behind.
kind of got baited because they had a ward on that cliff. They thought it would be a nice fight, but EG were nearby, so they were able to react quickly enough.
I mean, I guess the one good thing from OpTic you'd like to see from these experienced teams is even when they're really far behind, they'll try to get something, like they'll try to make an aggressive play, right? They won't just sit there kind of wait for bad things to continue happening to them. They'll try to take matters into their own hands.
And you can't. Sit
I'm not
there
sure.
Anymore.
I'm not sure if you can make an aggressive play though.
Yeah, but the thing about Dota is if you sit in your base, you're
Yeah,
losing.
you're gonna get
You're
out-farmed,
losing
right?
bounty runes.
But I feel like the best
And you're
place
losing Roshan.
Yeah, but I feel like the best place for them to fight is actually like on their shrines, right?
No.
What do you think?
Big enough.
The thing
This
is,
game's over.
then he just farms two sides of the map.
Yeah, but that's
Game's
his life.
over.
You're just
That's
AFK
his
on your
life.
shrine, bro.
they're in this
What can I
position
say?
in the first place. Like,
Nah, there's no way they can win by sitting still. Like they have to actually find a pick off somewhere and start the chain feed.
I don't think it helps. Like EG has to fuck up. They have to push and like tier 3 and they get hooked. Then they can come back.
Yeah, and this is not going to be the shrine fight Mojo was envisioning as.
I mean, this is what
They're
happens when you sit
surrounded.
on your shrine, Mojo.
I think they're going.
they're not even on their shrine, bro. What are you talking about? Their shrine
know,
is still
man.
available. What are you guys talking about right now?
Well, they could not make it to their shrine.
That's exactly how- you don't even get to make it to your shrine.
That's true.
kid.
If they had made it to the shrine,
Like, what
they
is this?
could have
You're
turned that
telling
around.
me instead of being there, they should have been at their tier 3. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Yo, what is this Witch Doctor's fantasy points? What is that?
Whoa, yeah. Put on the fantasy points.
Yeah. What is this? What is this? Skamaz? What is
Well,
this?
Yo,
What?
this guy's balling out of control.
What is this favoritism?
PBD is a beast.
What?
No,
What?
it's because like heal.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, how's it weighted
What,
that
did,
much?
did Peter tweet during the game or something? How do you get that many fantasy points?
Yo, this guy is destroying this game right now.
Yo, these skeletons are going bonkers.
Hooking the Wraith King, guys.
Nice terrorize.
It's a real smooth move.
Yo, he might die.
Terrorize.
Oh, Wraith King is isolated.
All right, let's
The
see what
suicide.
happens. Let's see
It's
what
hard
happens.
for his team
Okay,
to
you
get
gotta
to
blink
him.
off.
Oh, he's going to be able to
Into
blink
the
out.
stun. No, Chris dead. This is
dead.
the high ground hold. The dream.
Could this be it for,
Yes,
for
he has
OpTic?
cold snap and
Alright,
sunstrike.
he's gonna get him. He's gonna get him, boys. Maybe. Nope.
Where even was that?
No, that
That's
wasn't
He's
Pycats.
trying to going for the willow, I
No, it
think.
wasn't Pycats. It was super.
Oh, this is Pycats.
Let me see it. All right.
Oh.
He tried.
Valiant attempt. All right, now Radiant can kill their shrines. Continue farming the map once again.
Yeah, still have the Aegis. They can just wait for Artur's reincarnation to come back up.
Oh, doesn't Artur already have Radiance? S4 is getting one as well.
Yo, S4, you're in the wrong neighborhood.
What? No.
Or Zion, the
Our team
wrong
doesn't have
neighborhood.
Radiance.
He
Maybe
owns
they're
every
all
neighborhood.
in the wrong neighborhood.
He's a tycoon at this point.
Yeah, I don't think this Pudge... It's hard for them to enable this Pudge in the lanes.
Yeah.
Like, he goes bottom, and he's against Wraith King Chen with a bunch of summons. What do you... It's just difficult. You have to hit some super clutch hooks, or that lane becomes very bad very fast.
So what are you thinking about... well, I don't want to jump ahead. What are you thinking about next game or adjustments to the series if you're OpTic?
I mean, you don't want to lose the
Try,
lanes.
yeah, try to live through the lanes. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty much the story with this team, right? If you don't lose the lanes against EG, you can play some Dota. But if you lose the lanes this hard, there's just no Dota to be played. You're just going to GG out at 20. Like,
It is cold.
nobody can throw in a creep wave anymore.
There's a GG and a resounding dominant performance here from EG as they just clinched their spot in the winner bracket. So, you know, at this
be
tournament,
seeing
we'll
them,
get another
boys.
crack at them. And yeah, they improved to 6-1, showing that continued dominant form since their first day.
Look at them. They're so happy.
Look at
I
Bulls,
told
man.
you this Chen was still a good hero.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Seems like a Bulba thing to say.
Sam's like, I invented Chen. What are you talking about?
There's OpTic and the illustrious Dubu.
I think their first three felt kind of weak. Pudge, Willow, Witch Doctor. It's not a lot of... It just doesn't feel like you can kill heroes very easily unless you destroy the Willow lane.
Oh,
My,
actually,
my issue with those three heroes is that I feel like they share many counters.
don't know why did they pick Willow?
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, they probably thought, you know,
I mean, Willow's
broken hero
It's
available.
a strong no, it's a
Yeah,
strong laner. This hero
I just
has a
think
lot of
this
potential as a core.
the way Shocker pick was pretty bad because they showed like this Willow score, right?
I mean, the thing is,
Yeah, they showed a lot there.
I mean, this is a problem, right? You pick Chen, you're like, all right, what counters Chen? You know, Witch Doctor. So they pick Witch Doctor, so I understand it. But this Witch Doctor didn't end up laning against
Yeah.
the Chen, so he loses a little value. He ends up laning against Phoenix Bloodseeker, which is okay. Honestly, top lane, I don't think was the problem this game. It went well enough that this Morph could have had a game had the other two lanes gone better.
The real story is the bottom lane, just too one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, bottom lane lost this. Wraith King Chen literally took all your tier 1s by 10 minutes. Like, and then they just go Roche. And you can't fight him at Roche. Now you're down 10k.
I really think it came down to this Pudge Willow lane.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know.
Thing is, like, the Wraith King winning his lane also enabled this Invoker because he got some Sunstrike kills, right? So like they actually won 2 lanes at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Zeus cannot pressure an Invoker off of him. So, it's a good pick in that sense. This Invoker's just going to sit there and farm against Zeus, and then he's going to get some Sunstrike kills, and Zeus is going to feel bad because this guy's getting Sunstrike kills. And if he's not getting, you know, these Zeus Sky ult, you know, bolts from the sky on some cores, he doesn't feel nearly as good. We saw the one rotation bottom, but the tower still goes down. And Volker's free farm.
All right. So
I think when you see Bloodseeker, you have to pick Ursa or Monkey King straight up.
Yeah, Ursa was bad, right?
The problem is
Yeah,
they
they
pick
banned
this
Ursa
Phoenix.
right
They
after.
actually
But then, like,
compensate
Monkey
for
King-
you. Because in the
Monkey King is
laning
so
phase,
bad,
this Phoenix
yeah.
dominates all these heroes.
Yeah.
The fire spirits are way too much.
I mean, Bloodseeker.
I don't think
Phoenix,
like
that's a good
Ursa
combo,
plus
right?
one should beat.
I mean, I
Seeker, right?
still think you just.
Right.
I think you just pick the Brood there.
Yeah, probably.
Say, you know what, Pycat or,
Yeah, dude.
go ham on
The
this.
Speed,
more
right?
pack at
Go
the
ham on this
Pudge or
Pudge.
something. Yeah, yeah. Like you gotta do it, man.
I think it was actually the best way to punish their picks.
Yeah,
I think
I
their
agree.
supports couldn't deal with it. Their 2 cores couldn't deal with it.
So to add to Yaour's point, maybe that's what the first 2 was about, right? They have the Bloodseeker and the support that protects.
I don't
against
think
his
it
counters.
protects. Like you just pick Ursa there.
What, first 2?
Yeah. You see
Yeah,
a
you
Seeker,
could.
you just pick Ursa plus one.
Wait, what did they have? First pick, Pudge, right?
Pudge,
You just Ursa? I think it's gonna work. Worst case scenario, you put his support.
Yeah. You try.
What do you think, Grant?
I just want to say SVG talked mad shit about Cornhole. I don't care about the Dota.
Oh.
SVG talked mad
Whoa.
shit about Cornhole and
What?
then got dumpstered.
What?
Did you not get dumpstered?
No, I did not get dumpstered.
Did you lose?
This is not getting dumpstered.
Did
First
you
off,
lose?
final score, what was it, 21-20? And there was drone interference? Drone interference.
So SVG
There's a
did
drone
lose,
flying by my head.
And EG won, yeah.
I'm talking Dota. You come in here talking cornhole.
I mean, was that really
I mean,
much
we
of a
can just
game?
take it outside, Grant, and we'll settle this in
Yeah,
the
we
best
can
of 3.
settle again after you already lost the first time, admitted.
Can we get some slaps on the line, or what's going on
No,
here?
no,
This
no,
man's
no
out
more
of,
slaps.
This man's out of his mind right now.
You sure, Grant?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked pretty fun.
No, I'm sure. Yo, great job casting though, guys.
Thanks, Grant.
I didn't
Thanks,
actually
bro.
listen, but I'm
Yeah, I
assuming
know.
it's pretty good.
I knew he wouldn't. All right, so yeah, thanks for joining us for Game 1. Thanks for being on the couch, guys, and we'll be back after a short break for Game 2 of EG OpTic.